So Jai Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram. So this session we begin with the continuation of where we left, which is incomplete. So as we have understood from the last chapter, human beings are by nature, by definition, we are incomplete. It is saying that we take a small pattern of this carpet and we keep looking at that pattern of the thread going inside and outside, and we say that okay, we understand only this pattern. But what we fail to see is that there is an entire thread, that is the cosmos. Cosmos is giving us the answers, but we are not able to see it because by definition we are only that small pattern. So we are by definition incomplete. However, what we are going to see today is, so this chapter itself took us about all 3 sessions to complete. So what we understood in one of the other stories, if you remember, there are 4 states of existence, states of consciousness. The Prithu state, the Nishada state. Nishada state is the Nimna consciousness, the lowest form of consciousness. So in the lowest form of consciousness, we are not aware. So in the morning, I went for a trek to a jungle, and it was so peaceful, so serene. 6 a.m. in a dense forest, and these guys want to play music on a Bluetooth speaker. And I went up to them and I asked them, why would you do that? We are here to experience the serenity. They could understand. They kept arguing with me. There's no point.
Yeah.
So the thing is there. Yeah. So at that lowest level of consciousness, you are living in a very, very materialistic world. You are not able to understand, appreciate, or even get a small part of what is a higher consciousness. And that state of consciousness is called the Nishada state. The second state is called the Prithu. Yes, you're right. So there is a second state called the Prithu state. So in the Prithu state, there are 3 divisions. One is called there are in the Nishada itself, there is Deha Nishada, there is Mana Nishada, and then there is, that is Atma Prithu. There is, we'll have to go back and refer that chapter. But suffice to say that there are different consciousness in which we exist. Right? So we operate out of this and we keep slipping and moving up. So it's not that if you are a Nishada, you cannot come up to Prithu. From Prithu is Rishi. Okay, Rishi is it's a divine, it's literally divine form, divine soul, I would say, is a Rishi. But we all operate in 4 states. One is the Nishada state, which has Deha Nishada and Mana Nishada. Deha Nishada is that he is always lusting to satisfy the body. Mana Nishada is that he will use his mind as a weapon. He'll be cunning, he'll be scheming, he'll plot for the downfall of others, all for his mental gratification. Right? So that is a Mana Nishada. Then you have a Prithu. So in the Prithu state, you have a slightly elevated form of consciousness. So the first you have is a form of Prithu. No. So Atma Prithu is one, and so suffice to say that he is able to see that a Prithu is able to see that this world is an illusion. So therefore he interacts with the world knowing that the world is an illusion. So that is a Prithu. Okay. Even in that you have 3 categories of Prithu. So in the we keep oscillating between Prithu and Nishada. Now, why do we oscillate between Prithu and Nishada? Is basically because of there are 4 invisible mental bodies which are helping us in making these decisions. If you remember, how did incomplete chapter end? Where Lord Hanumanji, he told one mantra. Let me go back and all the Mathans gasp. So there is So The brain is not the mind, stated Lord Hanuman. The brain is just a communication bridge between your body and your mind. The mind is invisible and intangible. Your senses can't detect the existence of mind. Let me show you how the mighty mind would look if it were visible. Urva, please stand up and step inside the sacred fire. All the Mathans gasped, but Urva didn't so much as flinch at the thought of entering into the fire. There was nothing to fear when the immortal Guru was there to protect him. He stood up at once, fixed his gaze at the source of his fearlessness, and walked gracefully into the red fire, which was emitting white smoke at the center of the holy hemisphere. He felt icy flakes beneath his feet, but not the burning twigs. The freezing sensation traveled to his head and numbed it. He couldn't feel anything above his neck anymore. His fellow Mathans saw, with their mouth agape and breath forgotten, that his head opened like a blooming tulip flower, and out came 4 brain muscles which stretched in 4 directions with thin tree-like roots. At the same instant, 4 bodies of shimmering intangible matter having the same shape and size of Urva's physical body appeared in 4 different directions. The outstretched brain muscles acted like 4 bridges connecting Urva's physical body to his 4 mental bodies. So these are the 4 mental bodies through which we make our decisions. Our daily interaction with this world is determined by the 4 mental bodies. When Urva, let us express our gratitude to Urva. When Urva had returned to his ordinary self, Lord Hanuman explained the visual of the 4 mental bodies. Human mind is actually a composite of 4 separate bodies, which are made up of intangible matter. Like your physical body inhales and exhales air, your mental bodies inhale and exhale thoughts. The illusionary strength of your mental bodies lies in the fact that they are invisible and unknown. When they do something, you, the soul, feel that you are doing something. When they desire something, you mimic those desires as though they are your own. This illusion is good if you want to experience the scenes in the most intimate way possible. However, when bad and miserable scenes start rolling and you want to get out of them, the same illusion becomes a problem. To break this illusion, the 4 invisible bodies must become visible so that when they make a desire, the soul doesn't mimic it. So what are the 4, before this we learnt a concept, okay. The concept was space, the web of space and time. So there is fluid of space and there is strings of time. Fluid of space is everything that is matter. Strings of time is the arena, is the theater in which we are experiencing this world. So one is the stage on which we are experiencing, and the second, fluid of space can be all the matter. Alright. So now when we become aware of this, then we realize that this is the illusion of life. However, there is another thing that we have to understand, which is that when, if you see what he's saying is that the soul, whenever there is a character and there is the soul, right? So we are the character which the soul is going through to experience this world. If your soul today has to experience this world, then it has to take the physical body. The physical body is that of the character, right? So this character is sliding along the strings of time and in this theater experiencing this world. This has been, told very elaborately in the previous chapters. Alright, now this, my dear devotees, is the Brahma Vidya that is being brought to you. If you understand this Brahma Vidya, then you have unlocked the, the illusion of how the Maya interacts with us, right? Especially in Kali Yuga. So he says, Deva, when you have fully trained us, would we be able to see our mental bodies as clearly as we see our physical bodies now? One more thing I wanted to tell you, and I keep repeating this, right? See, when the physical body, the character, interacts with something thinking that it is real. Okay, so what are those things that we think is real? Our job, our family, our bank balance, our wealth, our experience of whatever we are going through, all that we think is real. Who thinks it is real? The character thinks that it is real, correct? So when the character thinks that it is real, then you are bringing upon that karma onto your soul. But when you make that differentiation that no, it is the character which is experiencing and not me, then your soul doesn't pick up the karma. And this is the reason why Lord Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, because Arjuna said that imagine my karmas if I'm actually killing all my elders, my like Bhishma Pitama, my Guru. That's a huge sin, isn't it? That sin will follow me for the rest of the world. I mean, rest of my lifetimes of my soul. So that is when Lord Krishna says that please bring that differentiation between your character and your soul. Your character has to perform a certain dharma. When you perform it, knowing that in that detachment, that is when your soul is not picking that karma. You are performing that dharma in a detached manner. That's why he called it Nishkama Karma. If you remember this, right? So what are we trying to do here? This is a toolkit. When we start understanding and differentiating between these four invisible bodies, what Lord Hanuman is giving us is a toolkit to ensure that our soul doesn't pick up all those karmas which the character is doing. How does it not pick up those karmas? By continuously bringing all these four invisible bodies into awareness. Okay? Friends, let me tell you this. This chapter is so powerful, so powerful. I must have read it not less than 100 times. 100 is probably less. I must have read it 500 times. But it is a continuous thing which you keep, because I know that I keep slipping in awareness. If someone comes and tells me something, I also feel that anger flushing within me. Something happens at home, I also feel, those negative emotions, positive emotions. I am also going through all that. So this is like a toolkit. You keep going back to this book, you keep reading this chapter again and again and again, so that you are bringing yourself into awareness all the time. So Urva says, will we be able to see our mental bodies after you have fully trained us? So he says, Lord Hanuman asks, when you are watching your physical body, who is the watcher? Who is the watcher? No, the mind. The mind is watching the physical body, right? My mind, Deva, replied Urmi. Correct. And when you are watching your mind and observing your thoughts, who is the watcher? Soul, replied Urmi uncertainly. Lord Hanuman said, technically speaking, a soul can't watch anything by itself. A soul is basically nothing, it's shunya. It watches everything through the character, that is through the body and mind of the character. So the mind can watch the body, but who can watch the mind? Who can watch the mind? Mind watches itself, said Urmi tentatively. Yes, you can make your mental bodies, the invisible four, expose each other just like they jointly expose your physical body, replied Lord Hanuman. Mind is mighty, but it works in a programmed and predictable manner. My words are going to program your four mental bodies in such a way that they start exposing each other and start owning up their desires. Once that happens, your soul will be like, oh, my physical body and mental bodies. As you agree, the desire you just expressed is yours, not mine. I am not going to mimic this desire. I am not going to let you decide my next scene. My next scene. Because you have all not been, some of you are still new listeners. You know how this, our life, they say that everything is scripted, right? So how is it scripted? Do you know how it is scripted? Just now I told you about fluid of space on strings of time. So Lord Hanuman is able to capture everything of Basanta of Urva into a pot. And suddenly Urva is not there. He has even vanished from the minds of all the Matangs over there. So he captures everything in a pot. Then when he draws something like this in an invisible air and 7 strings appear, when he pours that fluid of space on those strings of time, suddenly Urva comes back. So basically it means that we are all just fluid of space over strings of time. That's it. That's all we are. Everything, the whole world is just fluid of space over strings of time. Now, understanding this, how is our life programmed? Imagine if somebody has taken photograph of every second of your life and arranged it in a sequence. Okay, this arranging in a sequence in the theater of time, is called strings of time. Okay, so it is something like you have fluid of space which is like a projector, and it is throwing something on a blank screen. This blank screen is your strings of time. The minute the fluid of space falls on the strings of time, the movie comes alive. Just like that. Okay, so every second of how our life is going to be is already known. But here is the thing. It is not as linear as you think it is. It has infinite possibilities. At any second, you can stand here, you can sit here and listen to the story, or you can get up and worship Lord Hanuman, or you can leave. There are infinite possibilities right here, right? At any moment. So, which path you take is dependent on you. That is what Lord also tells in Bhagavad Gita, that I will support you. If you pray to me, I will support you in whichever path you want to take. You want to take the path of evil, take the path of evil. I'll support you in that also. You want to take the path of bhakti, take the path of bhakti and good, I'll support you in that also. But the consequences are yours. Whichever path you take, you own up to those consequences. Right? So what they are saying is that if you make yourself, if you expose your 4 invisible mental bodies, then what happens is that you are not mindlessly going from one scene to another scene. Somebody comes, tells you something, you feel that anger, then you are going from that scene to the next scene, correct? So instead, you are able to take a step back and going taking that particular string of time, you are able to withdraw yourself in your full awareness, you are able to take another path. So that is what this is doing. And when you do that, you are not letting your mind and your body choose the next scene. You are in control of it. So let us see how that is going to happen. Very difficult, but it is a practice. This is what is called sadhana. Continuous awareness is called sadhana. Deva began Dhanushka, whose thirst had almost died now. He was very thirsty, right? My body desires to drink water. On the other hand, my mind desires to suppress my thirst. My body and mind are part of the same character. Then why do I have conflicting desires? You told that a character is incomplete by definition and wants to become complete. So physical and mental bodies of the character should also work in harmony and try to complete it, shouldn't they? They should work as a team, correct? It's a clueless team with an unachievable goal, said Lord Hanuman. None of them know what the complete is or the whole is, and they can't know. A portion can never know the whole. So they have different approaches as to what might complete the character. The physical body and the 4 mental bodies are like 5 clueless people who are bound to each other by unbreakable chains, searching for a mysterious treasure in unknown territory. They all have different ideas and guesses as to where the treasure could be. Even though their goal is the same, their approaches are different. That is the reason why they create different desires. At each step, the most powerful desire wins. You will understand now. Deva, I know that my physical body is desiring for water right now. Out of the 4 mental bodies, which body is desiring to suppress the thirst? Inquired Dhanushka. You will know soon enough, said Lord Hanuman. These are the names of the 4 mental bodies. Atma Prithu, Samskara Prithu, we will know that. Chitta Prithu. The intelligence body, the intellect body, the samskara body and the chitta body. The intelligence body, intellect body, the samskara body and the chitta body. Okay? I am calling them bodies to emphasize that they are very much like your physical body, except that they are invisible and intangible. Once that's clear to you, you may drop the word body and simply call them as intelligence, intellect, samskara and chitta. Also, when I use the word body alone, it means physical body, okay? The physical body, as you know, is made up of tangible matter and interacts with the tangible matter that falls within the range of its senses. When you see or smell mangoes and want to eat them, that's your body's desires. It believes that the complete and the whole is a perfect and immortal body that never gets hungry, thirsty, old or sick. It classifies matter in two categories. The matter that helps it get better and nearer to perfection and hence must be consumed, and the matter that makes it worse and takes it farther from perfection, and that must be discarded. The whole mechanism of your body is based on consuming the former category of matter and disposing of the latter. Which means whatever is consumable, which will make it complete, consume it. Whatever doesn't make it, whatever makes it incomplete, avoid it. Right? See, in my own mind, I have questions now. What about people who are addicted to smoking? Their mental body knows that it is a bad thing, that it should be avoided. But the physical body says, sorry boss, nothing doing. You need to have one right now. Right? Addiction is like that. Even though your mental bodies are telling you, but your physical body has overcome your mental body, overruled them and said, sorry, this is what you need to eat right now. There are many people, it happens to me many times, where I know, where I know that eating this sweet is not good for me. So,
Is it done inside? About this song?
I don't know.
Okay.
So I know that eating this sweet is not good for me because I need to keep my weight down, and sugar causes a lot of havoc in the body. But there is some part of me which says, just for the taste, let me have a little bit. Right? So yeah, the physical body at that time overrules and overpowers the mental body. So what mental body? Now we know that it is not just the mind, but the mind is made up of these 4 mental bodies. So let us find out. My physical, see this, perfect example. He says, my physical body craves for buckets full of delicious honey, Deva, said Purva grinning. Does it really believe that doing so will take it nearer to immortality? It does the opposite. It takes you nearer to death. Right? Well, said Urmi, I guess mental bodies know that. Hence they overpower your body's natural desires and superimpose theirs on it. Does it mean that if I don't have a mind, my physical body would self-destruct within a day? It would die like an ant in a pool of honey, wondered Purva. Correct, no? No, not so fast, said Lord Hanuman. How much honey can you eat in one go? The body doesn't want to harm itself. Once it has consumed enough honey, it will turn its hope of perfection towards something else, maybe something salty. Don't forget, your physical body has a mechanism to discard the consumed matter that doesn't suit it, including the harmful matter. Besides, how much honey could you procure without the help of your mental bodies? Not much. Your ability to smell the honey has a limit. Therefore, it is wrong to speculate that your physical body would die within a day if it didn't have the support of the mental bodies. Most of the time, desires created by your mental bodies wreak havoc on your physical body. Look at the trees. They have an almost non-existent mind, but they live very, very long, longer than human beings. Maybe my desire to eat mounds of honey is not entirely my body's desire, Deva, guessed Urva. Yes, a physical body free from other influences doesn't desire anything self-destructive, said Lord Hanuman. Your physical body lives in the present and categorizes things within its reach in two categories. Things that it should consume or retain, and the things that it should discard or reject. This categorization is based on its desire to become the whole. Of course, it doesn't know what the whole is. So all its efforts to become the whole are futile. That is not your soul's concern though. Your soul is interested in the emotions that result from these efforts. Ah, that explains it, exclaimed Urva, looking at his fiancée Urmi. Batre, tune ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫೋನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮೋಡಲ್ಲಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಸರಿ.
What about mentally challenged people?
What about mentally challenged people? What about them?
They don't have a proper functioning of mind, and like how do you say about their desires? Like
They also have desires.
they have desires, but like you differentiate into like you want to do this. For them, it's not like that. They behave on what others say. So what about that? They
So
are told
it is-
by people what to do.
Yeah, so be it. They will have their own discretionary power. See, their body also has some power, right? If the others tell them, eat this, it's like a baby. I mean, if you've seen how a baby is, the baby is told, you feed the baby food. But it will reject it, right? If you have ever, I know my baby son was there when he was a baby. You keep feeding him something, he'll reject it. He'll say, and he'll spit everything out. He's also being given food. He's also being told to eat. But will he eat it? No. Just like mentally challenged people, I've been around them. They are very strong. They have their own desires. So, that explains it, said Urva, looking at his fiancée Urmi. Explains what? Urmi raised her eyebrows. Nothing, said Urva, and returned his gaze to Lord Hanuman. But the immortal Guru had closed his eyes to allow his disciples a thoughtful pause to help them fully absorb the knowledge of the physical body. Urmi and Urva took full advantage of this pause and had a silent conversation that went like this. It explains it, doesn't it? I don't get it. Explains what? So Urva and Urmi are fiancés. They are destined to marry each other. The desire to procreate, the desire to give birth to children. I don't know what you mean, said Urmi. You know very well, Urmi. You're the one who keeps dreaming about marriage. Yes, we have to procreate to produce next generation of Matans, but there is nothing physical about it. Maybe that's a collective desire of our physical body and mental bodies. The physical body is definitely involved. You can't deny that. Why do we feel attracted to each other? Because my physical body sees the possibility of immortality in becoming one with you, and so does your body. I am attracted towards your seed and you towards mine. Who told you that I am attracted towards you? The gods have chosen us to lead our tribe and procreate if required. Gods will decide whether they want us to procreate or not, communicated Urmi with glowering expressions on her face. Okay, forget about us. Forget about human beings too. Why do any male and female get attracted to each other? If it were a desire triggered by higher faculties of mind, animals won't be procreating. It is a physical desire, I am telling you. Yes, I can agree with that, nodded Urmi. Well, here's my understanding. First, physical bodies try to grow and become immortal by themselves. When they stop growing and start decaying, they look for alternative means to become immortal. That stage is called puberty. That's when my body started looking for seeds to create almost identical bodies that would live long enough after I have died. I have been trying to understand this attraction all these years. Now that I have understood it, I feel less attracted. You speak for yourself, Urva. Don't speak on my behalf. I have never been attracted in the first place. All right, all right. Let's speak for other males and females then, sighed Urva. Having their own children is not enough. They want to live long enough to see their children procreate too and give them grandchildren. Just to be sure that a part of them will survive long enough after they have gone. A physical body can't think about the future. A mysterious voice rang in Urva's head. The same voice had whispered in Urmi's head too. What a jubilant expression on her face, she silently communicated. With a jubilant expression, she silently communicated. See, not everything is physical, Urva. The attraction and the desire to reach the seed is purely physical. I agree that the mind thinks about the future, not the body. In that case, the mind has its own reasons to get attracted to you. But physical attraction is different. The body wants to reach the seed that can make it immortal. It's pure and simple. No calculations about the future are required. A body can be endorsed by more than one of your 5 bodies. A desire can be endorsed by more than one of your 5 bodies, said Lord Hanuman when he opened his eyes. Since the statement seemed in response to Urva and Urmi's silent conversation, they gave a start. Lord Hanuman continued. In other words, more than one of your bodies can be on the same page to pursue a desire. For different reasons, of course. You will be able to understand it better once you know about all the intelligence body. Interrupted Urva nervously. Tell us about the intelligence body, Deva. I am so excited. It feels like I have learned more in the last 2 hours than in the last 2 decades of my life. Intelligence body. How does it try to complete a character? By trying to mend the past and secure the future, said Lord Hanuman. Your intelligence body imagines the future and memorizes the past. When you desire to do something out of guilt, to redeem mistakes, to redeem mistakes of the past, you can be sure that it's your intelligence body's desire. When you desire to do something to secure your future or do something that will give you results in the future, you can be sure that it's your intelligence body's desire. So your intelligence body's idea of the whole and complete is a present that has a perfect past and a perfect future attached to it. Of course, that complete present never comes. So, you see so many people saying that I want to earn enough money for my next generation. I want to have property which I can leave behind for my children and grandchildren. I want to have enough bank balance that I want to leave behind for my children and grandchildren. How does it matter? It's their life. It is their karma. People who think like this either end up in extreme disappointment, or they feel happy that things like this have come into picture. But both of them are incomplete. Both the scenarios are incomplete. Why is it incomplete? Because there is no perfect past and there will be no perfect future. Even if they have left behind all this money, like I'll give you an example. I have a friend, okay, his father is very rich. Because he's leaving behind all that money for the son, he feels he has an authority over the son. And I have seen this happen in multiple families. The father is highly successful, but he wants to control his son because he is obviously giving a big house for the son to live. The son, the wife, the grandchildren, everybody are living. He is providing all that. He has earned enough for that grandchildren's grandchildren also. So he has nothing to fear. But in his old age, he still wants to control. Why? Because he says, "Arey, you are living in my house. You are enjoying the fruits of my hard work, my labor, everything that I made for you." So what will happen? Now the son will rebel. He will say, "I don't want your money." Okay, or he will take the money and spend it, and he'll spend it secretly. All that will happen. Finally, what will the father think? For whom did I make all this property? For whom did I earn all this wealth? So there is no perfect past and there is no perfect future. So what does the intelligence body do? It is so foolish that it will say, I will make, because of my imperfect past. Why? That person, if you see usually, he will be determined by how his father behaved with him. His father might have been very poor. My friend's father actually was very poor. They used to live in a thatched roof hut. And his father made a lot of money by real estate, and he set up an industry which he sold. He made money. He made a lot of money. Okay, so now they are living in a palatial place in Malleshwaram. So it's a huge house they constructed. So yes, in Malleshwaram that too. So you can imagine. So what has happened now? The father thinks that the grandfather, that's my friend's grandfather, was poor. So his father thought, I should earn enough money so that my children don't suffer. You earn money for yourself. After you have earned, detach it. Now you have to give it to your child anyway. Why should you exert power? No, I have earned, so I'll exert power. See what the intelligence body does. So when we base our decisions in life and interactions with our loved ones or anybody else based on these imperfect bodies, it will only bring us sorrow, grief, dejection, depression. It will never bring us happiness. Don't you agree? What about the intellect body, Deva? Asked Urva impatiently. Your intellect body believes that an individual can't be the whole and complete, replied Immortal Guru. It believes that if there is something that is complete, it is made up of many characters, each positioned at an ideal distance from the main character. So, to make your character whole, your intellect tries and builds new relationships with other characters and tries to perfect existing relationships. It marks other characters as a friend or a foe. Just like your physical body marks things as consumable and non-consumable, it desires to push some characters away and bring others closer to your character. If distance can't be altered, it desires to change their behavior by all means possible. How does it try to do all this? By sharing thoughts, things and time with other characters. I desire to bring some changes in my tribe, Deva, said Urva authoritatively and drew surprising looks from his tribesmen, especially the current chieftain Baba. I will start acting on these desires when I become the chieftain. Is it my soul's desire or am I mimicking a desire of my intellect? Family, friend circle, community, tribe, village, town, class, race, kingdom, and so on are fixed boundary lines drawn by your intellect, said Lord Hanuman. These lines give a fair idea of the distance of other characters from you. For instance, your family and friends are intellectually closer to you than people in the same tribe or community. Correct? We interact with them the most. Usually you can't push these characters out of these boundaries just because they don't fit in your intellect's idea of what they should be. For instance, you can't get rid of a family member who doesn't fit in your intellect's idea of what a family member should be. When your intellect believes that other characters are not ideal constituents of its idea of the whole, it desires to change their conduct and behavior. If you are in a position of authority, you make rules. Just now what I said, the father, he'll make rules as a position of authority. Why? Because he wants his son to fall in line. If you have no such powers, you just want to yell. Excuse me. You just want to yell and relay your opinions about other people as far as possible. To answer your question, Urva, your desire to bring changes in the functioning of your tribe is entirely your intellect's desire. No one except Urmi noticed the use of the phrase intellectually closer by Immortal Guru. She couldn't help requesting for elaboration. Deva, my family and friends are emotionally closer to me, not intellectually closer. The phrase gives an impression as though my loved ones are just pieces on a chessboard. Emotions and feelings are the byproducts of your bodies attempting to become whole. Let me reiterate this. Emotions and feelings are the byproducts of your bodies attempting to become whole. Your intellect body is not the only one that triggers emotions, stated Lord Hanuman. Okay? So, as the chessboard, Urva turned to Urmi and exclaimed, just the example I was looking for to visualize the intellect's idea of the whole. Thanks, Urmi. Lord Hanuman closed his eyes. I didn't use it in a positive context, frowned Urmi. Loved ones are not pieces of chessboard available for our intellect to play with. Just think about it without prejudices and preconceived notions, suggested Urva. Just like a chessboard has squares, the intellect board has many concentric circles, such as the circle that represents life partner, the circle that represents family, the friend circle, the community circle, and so on. The intellect believes that once all these circles are in harmony, the main character will feel complete and whole. All its desires to feel, to perfect the relationships comes from this idea of the whole. When these desires approach fulfillment, we feel positive emotions, else we feel negative emotions. Urva's face contorted funnily because he tried to suppress a chuckle as he said, of course, Urmi, your intellect feels that I am an ideal character to occupy the position of your life partner. So you feel positive emotions of love and affection towards me. I understand that. But whether you like it or not, the truth is that I am just a piece on your intellect board and you on mine. Enjoy the little pleasures you get by shrugging off your emotions. You are trapped in an image of being a carefree person. That image makes you belittle emotions, counseled Urmi. I am aware of that image, but I am not belittling emotions. You are completely missing my point here, said Urva. Am I? I just sought to understand the phrase intellectually closer. It is you who compared relationships with a chessboard, said Urmi calmly. No, Urmi, I just used the concept of the chessboard as a reference to come up with the idea of the intellect board, said Urva with a voice that threatened to implode at each syllable due to the pain of being misunderstood. I just tried to imagine what the intellect considers to be the whole and complete. Unlike the physical body and the intelligence body, the intellect body believes that the individuals can't be complete on their own. Its idea of the whole is certainly a larger body made up of many characters. It's difficult to imagine a larger body. So I came up with imagination of an intellect board upon which all the characters of my life are placed. Lord Hanuman returned to the talks. That's why one should use the metaphors and analogies very carefully while understanding the mysteries of the mind and the soul. Stick to the technical details. Drop the analogy as soon as it starts dragging you away from the truth. Urva, I can understand the use of the chessboard analogy by you. You can keep using it as long as you are clear that your intellect is not playing chess. It's trying to find ideal pieces to fit the intellect board. And Urmi, I can understand where you're coming from. Intellect is often confused with intelligence. And that is why you thought that use of the phrase intellectually closer doesn't do justice to the selfless nature of the relationships. The desires of the intellect are always selfless because its approach to make your character complete is not individualistic but collective. On the other hand, your intelligence, because of its individualistic approach to make your character whole, always makes self-centered desires. Can you understand this paradox? Okay, let me try and help you understand this. Um, a few days ago, my son, it was his birthday. Someone gifted him an Amazon voucher. He wanted a smartwatch. So I asked him, why does he want a smartwatch? Because he has seen his other cousins wear a smartwatch. I told him, look, I don't wear a smartwatch. What are you going to do with a smartwatch? He said, I don't know all that. He's only 8 years old. I want a smartwatch, Papa, I don't care. I said, what are you going to do? He said, no. Then he went and complained to his mother. My wife said, just get him one. I said, no, but let me check with him, because it's going to be a useless piece which keeps continuous charging, and it's not going to be of any use to him. So I wanted him to use his logical mind and all that. No, he burst into a tantrum and he said, Papa, you go and die. I don't want you in my life. And he started saying all that, okay. I felt hurt, obviously. So I said, so you don't want one, Papa? No, I don't want one, Papa. So why did I feel hurt?
You don't want it.
Yeah, but then the intellect body, now you've got this information of intellect body. That intellect body wants my son to like me.
But it said intellect body always does selfless desires?
Yes.
But how?
The intellect body always believes in a perfect relationship.
But how?
It doesn't believe in, it believes that, see, the intellect body is always trying to ensure that all our relationships are perfect.
Right.
So whoever it doesn't like, it will keep them at a distance. Whoever it likes, it will bring them closer.
So it is selfish.
It is not selfish. It is trying to establish a community. What is communism? Socialism. What did socialism try to do? It said that there is suffering everywhere due to capitalism and greed. So if we make everything governed by the state, then there will be equality. Correct? But what was the intention of socialism? To ensure that everybody is happy in that entire country. Okay, which it failed to achieve, because that it's not possible. Right? But it's similarly, what are we trying to do? Our boss should behave in a certain way. Right? Our family members should behave in a certain way. Our friends should behave in a certain way. Aren't we all trying to get that whenever they are behaving in a certain way, we are feeling positive emotions. Whenever they are not behaving in a certain way, you're feeling negative emotions. So if you listen to one of Sadhguru's talks, right, he says that what you say, madly in love, blind in love, is just a feeling of positive emotion that you are trying to derive from the other person. That's it. That day that person stops giving you that positive emotions, you will just drop him and you will move on with your life. Correct?
Yeah.
How much of negative emotions can you take from a person? But there is nothing called unconditional love. We might say that yes, I love you unconditionally. That unconditional love is only between Bhagwan and his Bhakt. There are no conditions there. But every other relationship is conditional love. You analyze and tell me, yes or no? Everything is conditional love. Now, when everything is conditional love, then you tell me, if everything is conditional love, how is the intellect board trying to arrange and organize the pieces of their lives, of its life with respect to others? It says, see, Urva said, I want my community to be a certain way, my tribe to be in a certain way, so I want to bring some changes. Why? Because he feels that is for the best benefit of others. It is not for his benefit. He will say, for everybody's benefit, I want it to be like this. Right? You will say that the family has to be like this. It is not for, you feel that if that fellow walks that path. So I'll give you other returning to my friend's example. The father feels that the son should not, go out and spend money. Now the money is there, son wants to spend it. No, you have to spend it like this. You have to spend it on these things. So that means that he is telling him that if you do it like this, I will get a positive emotion from you. So the intellect body is always trying to derive positive emotions from all the relationships around it.
Is
Correct?
sacrificing a
By
part
extrovert.
of intellect body, sacrificing for someone, like you place certain emotions,
Yes.
certain people close to yourself,
Correct.
and you end up sacrificing for them.
Yeah.
Anything, be it
Yeah.
when you sacrifice maybe money for someone who's in need. So that's a part of intellect.
Yes. Everything that you're doing from which you're deriving a positive emotion. You are sacrificing, but you're getting a positive kick, no?
Yeah, you're feeling good about it.
You're feeling good about yourself or not?
Doing
So the
charity, you
intellect
feel good
body is
about
so the intellect body is trying to do everything, huh? The intellect body is trying to do everything to keep people who are giving you positive emotions close to you. See, this is the difference between enlightened souls and ordinary souls. So I have a friend who's is actually a relative who's in a higher position up there in Art of Living. Okay, he tells me about the amount of politics that is happening in Art of Living is crazy. All right, but the Guruji, he says, knows all about it. So he one day went and asked Guruji. He was the personal assistant of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, that close to him. And he went and asked him, saying, "Why are you tolerating these people?" He said, "I see a glimmer of hope of evolvement in them as well." So for him, it is unconditional. The same thing with Osho. There were so many people in Osho's disciples thought that they made it into a cult and they completely went in a different direction. So they asked him, "Why are you tolerating this?" He said, "It's okay. I see a glimmer of hope." So he told this. I remember his speech very clearly. He says, "I can see my ship. My ship has already arrived, but I'm still here, saying, let me, let me evolve a few souls. थोड़े आत्माओं का उद्धार कर लूं." He says, "I can see my ship, it has come." So that is the difference between evolved souls and ordinary souls. For us ordinary souls, it is you give me this or you're out of my life. But for evolved souls, they'll be with them. They'll still give them a chance to evolve themselves by being in their company. Otherwise, everybody is a sinner, right? I have also been a sinner. For me to come this far and be with Lord Hanuman, I can only say his absolutely unforgiving, forgiving, merciful, divine grace that has brought me on this path. Nothing else. I should have been a horrible Nishada somewhere. But I am here only because of His divine grace. That's why I say Ishta Devata, who brings you closer and puts you on the path of spiritual evolution. And that's one of the things. Now do you understand what is intelligence? What is intellect? Intelligence is everything that is trying to make but keeps looking at the past in the rear view mirror and keeps looking at the future to make it perfect. It will be determined by the past. It wants to have a perfect past. Then it says, okay, my past is imperfect. Forget that. I'll make my future perfect now. In the past, I was poor, so I'll be rich. In the past, I didn't have love. Now I'll find true love. In the past, I didn't have good relationships. Now I'll try and find good relationships. So it wants to do everything looking at the past. Then when it doesn't get all that and make its future perfect, then what will happen? Ayo, my fate, my destiny, God is not supporting me.
Not loving me.
Yeah, just try and understand. It's your intelligence body that is making you cry, not you. You are blissful. You are already your soul is anchored to Lord Hanuman. You are already in divine bliss. You are not able to feel that divine bliss because your intelligence body is crying. How does your intellect body cry? Ayo, my family member is not listening to me. Oh, my friends are treating me like this. Oh, my boss has done this.
Perfect.
It wants perfect relationships from everybody. So it will cry. I don't have perfect relationships. How do I make perfect relationships?
I don't know how to
So it will be selfless, like you said, it will try and sacrifice something, all that it will do. You do it. I'm not saying don't do it, but know that my intellect body is doing all this to get a positive kick from that emotion, from that relationship.
But you don't know what you say is correct. But at times you don't do it for like, okay, yeah, positive emotions come, but you don't do it to derive something out of it.
Correct. So when it comes, you become aware of it. That's it. See, we are not enlightened beings. If you know this is chapter book 2, okay. In book 1, there is what's her name? Who's previous past life of
Anita.
Urmi. I'm bad with names, but yeah. So in that she will Chandra. She's on the monkeys are in the town, okay, in her village. So this boy of hers will be on the terrace. Her 10-year-old boy, son. That son will fall from the terrace because of these monkeys, and he will be on his deathbed. Everybody will come crying and say that, see, your son has fallen. So she'll take care of him, but then she will go and that food that is there and cooked, for lunch, she'll go and give it to the monkeys, saying the monkeys have come, let me feed them. It was so selfless that Lord Hanuman will be meditating in the jungle in Himalayas somewhere, immediately says, I have felt a vibration, someone in the world attained sainthood somewhere. Somewhere in the world, someone attained sainthood. And that immediate emotion comes and he opens his eyes. And he says, who attained sainthood? It was so selfless. So imagine you're so attached to your son. The monkeys come, you're on the terrace, the sun falls down.
And the monkey is the reason for the sun to fall down.
Okay, your son is on the deathbed.
Yet you go
and you don't think anything. You say, okay, my son has fallen down, but the monkeys are there. They are hungry. They are being chased by everybody. The entire village was chasing them and beating them with sticks, throwing stones at them. And it was out of fright and panic that they were jumping from terrace to terrace. When the 10-year-old son of hers was also on the terrace, he got attacked by the monkeys. The monkeys thought that he'll also throw something. He got attacked. He fell from the terrace. So, wouldn't you have anger towards the monkeys? What does she do? She'll go and feed the monkeys. And immediately Lord Hanuman opens his eyes and says, somebody achieved sainthood. That created such an explosive positive emotion, or I don't know what, it sent such a powerful vibration into the universe that he opens his eyes from his meditation, saying somebody attained sainthood. So such are the people who are born in this Mathan community, right? It is their last birth on earth. This Mathan community that we are talking about, who are interacting with Lord Hanuman, they were all rishis, munis, saints, evolved beings, gurus, for whom it is their last birth on earth. That is why after they listen to this Brahma Vidya, tak moksha. It is the last push towards moksha. For us, we can read this 1,000 or 10,000 times and we will still probably have taken one step. For them, it is an immediate accelerator because they have put that many years of sadhana into their lives. So that is I forget the reason why I told you this example.
Selfless. Talking about charity.
Selfless.
Doesn't derive anything.
So that is selfless. If you can be like that selfless, Lord Hanuman will himself come to you. That is sacrifice. Okay. So let's see one more. Is this a little too much? I mean, we finished intelligence, right? Intelligence is.
If you have more time, then I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Means as you have said before that everything is scripted.
Yeah.
And every moment and we have thousands of things to do. Every moment we have
Thousands of
Infinite
possibilities.
possibilities. But what the possibility you will choose? That's you are saying.
Correct.
But if I am saying that everything is scripted, then if I am choosing any possibility, then it's also scripted.
Yes. Absolutely. So, to give you an example, actually this example is explained in the previous chapters. Everything that you're doing is based on some information from the past and some expectation from the future, right? So you have chosen a path. The minute you realize that expectations have changed, something in the past changed, something in the future changed, you will take another tunnel. These are all tunnels of experience. You can choose to go in whichever tunnel you want.
That's I'm saying. There's the path which I am choosing is also decided.
That is decided by you. That is called free will. See, once you take that path, where that path will go is decided. So imagine it's like a branch, right? It's going like this, infinite possibility. You choose this path. It is going like this, infinite possibilities. You choose that path. So it keeps going. It's called down the rabbit hole. That keeps going.
So all this AI, everything generative AI, everything is
It's gonna.
is scripted.
Everything is scripted. The whole universe is scripted. How this universe is going to end is also scripted. So that is the reason why they say that it's so illusionary that man thinks everything is in his power, right, to change.
Kalki Avatar.
Kalki Avatar is also going to come. That we discuss a lot. I mean, but yeah.
उसके से जनरेट करता है वो जो भी जो आपको जैसे समझो आपका डिज़ायर जो भी रहेगा आप उसको एक्सप्रेस करोगे या अपने बैकएंड में जो भी उसके डेटा रहेगा उसी को क्रिएट करके अपने को सामने नेक्स्ट आपका फ्यूचर जो भी रहता है वो क्रिएट करता है.
So I'll probably read maybe 2 pages, so you will really appreciate what happens here, okay? So 2, you feel a selfless bond with that person. Your intellect desires to bring that person closer in your Urmi interrupted. Exactly, Deva. That's what I'm talking about. Some relationships are completely selfless. In some relationships, one can even sacrifice their life for the sake of other characters. The parent-child relationship, for instance. The desire of sacrificing your own needs for the sake of another character may sprout when your intellect values them as better pieces of the whole than yourself, said Lord Hanuman. Deva, how does the intellect determine the value of others' characters? Based on logic, or is it purely a spontaneous feeling? Purely a spontaneous feeling, replied Lord Hanuman. When your intellect comes across a character, it values them spontaneously and unconsciously. It determines precisely where the character should be placed in its idea of the whole. Closer to you or farther from you, or it doesn't matter. This gives rise to the feeling of like or dislike. So many people we meet, right? We know we instantly connect with them. It could happen that, familiarity breeds contempt and you get to know them closely and then you feel, I want to avoid him. But many a times you go with it, right? I mean, my friends are also not perfect. I am also not perfect. But we enjoy each other's companies and we go because end of the day, that's what it is about. You know, where to keep him. For example, there is a friend of mine who's an extreme kanjus. So I know he will, if we go on a trip with him, he will calculate down to the rupee and paisa. That's all right. We give him that work. It's very good because, see, when he doesn't come, it doesn't matter. Somebody will say, I'll pay. Somebody will say, you will pay. It goes on. Finally, we'll only divide the fuel cost. But who has paid how much, we don't have any calculation. Guru, thank you so much. But end of the day, if this guy is there, everybody will have that calculation because he will note down everything in his notepad. Okay, to the paisa he'll note it down. So it's a good thing. Let him do it. So we carry everybody with their imperfections, right? My parents, my children, my spouse, nobody is perfect. we have to carry them forward with their imperfections. So that's how life is all about, right? So when the intellect is questioned why it likes or dislikes a person, it can't explain the feeling with logic. That's when it seeks the help of intelligence. After all, the logic requires imagination and memory, which fall in the domain of the intelligence. That's the reason why people mistake intelligence for intellect. Do you understand? I'll give you more examples. There are two different mental bodies. The intellect just feels. It can't even communicate about because communication requires utilizing the memory of words and planning of sentences, which only the intelligence can do. And what a bad job the intelligence does in communicating or finding the logic behind the feelings of the intellect. Side Urva. Awful job indeed, Urmi concurred. Even physical body is better at communicating than the intelligence when it comes to relationships. Tears are better than ink. The face is better than a paper to scribble emotions. The body can't communicate, said Urva, but it can certainly demonstrate the feelings of intellect by sharing everything it can with the other person, by doing everything it can for the other person. He got a follow-up thought that he kept to himself. My intellect values Urmi more than anybody else in this world. It wants to take the help of my physical body to express these intimate feelings. So my desire to become one with Urmi is not purely physical. It is endorsed by my intellect too.
Intelligence also.
Intelligence, not intelligence.
No, but suppose a person like Urva and Urmi, they come together. It's the future they imagine of being together. So intelligence also plays a role.
See, that's what they are trying to say. That intelligence plays a very bad thing. In choosing my life partner, I don't know about all of you, so I'll only stick to my experience and tell you. In choosing my life partner, I made a decision within half an hour that she was the one for me. And that happened in 2008. Yeah, 15 years. So, half an hour's decision that I'm stuck with for the last 15 years. Right? So, how did I decide? I actually went back and my parents asked me, what did you see? And I tried to break it down. I said, well, I think I saw this in her and I saw that in her. But my logic could not come up with the right words. How did my logic, it'll think of, okay, I had some failed relationships. In those failed relationships, I saw these natures or qualities in that person, which I don't see in this person. But that is not the right answer, no? Because this person could have many more other negative qualities which I did not see. So my intelligence tried to logically break it down.
Right.
But my intellect had already liked that person. For whatever right or wrong, my intellect had already liked that person. And it was like Lord Hanuman says, purely spontaneous feeling. When Prabhu Shri Ram was ruling his kingdom from Ayodhya, said Lord Hanuman, reminiscently, majority of the citizens loved him and supported his decisions. But he had his share of critics. I am reminded of Modi here. Even though he was the most ideal king one could be. Imagine, for Lord Hanuman, Lord Ram only there were critics. Obviously there will be critics of Modi also. His ardent supporters would try to reason with the naysayers, but to no avail. I have done that. I've had epic wars on WhatsApp, trying to say everything that BJP has done and everything that Modi has done, and these guys, especially some Muslims in the group, no. They will not see the logic. They will always bring something else into the thing. Even there are some Hindus also, that AAP supporters you should see. So yeah, I mean, they will not, the logic will not penetrate. Right? So, hear this. Some supporters went to the extreme of labeling the naysayers as evil. But before it could turn into hatred between the groups, Prabhu Ram requested the rishis to spread the awareness about the nature of intellect in the kingdom. The supporters finally understood that it was all right to dislike even someone of the stature of Prabhu Ram. Even though your tribe is a group of a few people, some of them dislike you, Urva. How would you deal with them? That's all right, Deva, said Urva. Their intellect bodies have their own idea about the whole. There is a position of the tribe chieftain marked upon their intellect board. They believe that I don't deserve to be in that position. That's why they dislike me. That's completely all right. I share their belief. My intellect body also feels that my character doesn't deserve to be in that position that I am. I dislike myself and I wonder what the gods saw in me that they chose me to lead this great tribe. I am just a normal man. Well, that's unusual, said Lord Hanuman. Usually people value themselves more than others value them. They think that they deserve to be in a better position in their family, in their community, in their personal lives. They work very hard to better their own position. Yes, Urmi, you have a question? Yes, Deva, said Urmi. If somebody dislikes me now, will they always dislike me? Is there no way to get their intellect to accept me as likable? Good question, no? Share more information about you, suggested Lord Hanuman. Try to present yourself in a better way. If they don't like you even after you have revealed your character to them, you can only hope that their idea of the whole will change and you will start to fit in that idea. My idea of what is whole
Perfect.
says that Modi is not in it. Maybe with a lot of information, my idea of whole will change and therefore Modi will fit into that picture and so I will start to like him. That's the possibility.
I have a question here. So we should not try to better ourselves. Like improvement is necessary for your growth, right?
Oh, be very careful. Improvement of what? What do you mean by improvement?
Self-improvement.
In what way?
Every way, professionally, personally,
Perfect.
spiritually.
Yes.
So I want you to elaborate on the part when you said that intellect body. Some might not like you.
Present.
Try to improve that. I'm not able to form the question. What I'm trying to say is, want
She
to
might be asking that,
No, not
do you try to
pleasing.
please?
You try to put yourself in a better situation, but is it not like I want to become a better version of myself? I'll put it that way. And what I'm trying to say is that wrong of me putting myself above others? Suppose in job, I want to climb higher.
You want to put yourself in, you want to become a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
Why should it be in respect to others? Why should it be comparative to others?
No, not comparative.
Then-
But when you climb this test, somebody will be disappointed, right? Unknowingly and knowingly, not knowingly, unknowingly, you might end up hurting someone. So is that bad or is that wrong? That's what I'm trying to ask.
If unknowingly, then how will you know you're hurting? Okay, let us say unknowingly someone has got hurt. You got to know. I'll give you a hypothetical example.
Yeah.
I have been promoted. There were 10 other colleagues, right? All, let's say 5 of them say, you don't deserve to be there. Correct? Is that stopping you from being a better version of yourself? No. It doesn't stop you. Right? You may, now there are 2 ways in which you may think that yes, I deserve to be there. Or you may think, no, not me, that person deserved to be there. So what will you do? You may go to that person and say, man, I'm sorry, I think you also deserve that for a promotion. However, you didn't get it, but my what should we say? My condolence, not condolence, my consolation with you. Condolences for someone who's died, but my consolation with you. Right? I feel you. But that doesn't mean that you're stopping to improve yourself.
Loving yourself is also important, right?
Who loves yourself?
That's a very deep question.
Who is loving whom, if you can just elaborate?
Having self-love, that's important.
Who is loving whom?
Mind is loving the body, no?
Which body is loving which body? Mind is 4 invisible bodies. Which invisible body is loving which invisible body?
Intellect body, loving the physical body.
Intellect body is selfless. Intellect body is a community thing. Intelligence body is a logical body. Intelligence body says, okay, I need my memories to project myself into the future, all of that.
Where does affirmations fall in place between this intellect and intelligent body?
Well, for that you have to understand the other two bodies. Samskara body and Chitta body also. If you understand, then, so for example, I'll give you, it's a very good question that you have raised. I look at myself in the mirror and I know, okay, I need to improve my shoulder, I need to improve my lower abs, I need to do this, upper chest. I'm like a sculptor trying to sculpt my own body there, right? So, who's doing what? Which body is loving which body here?
I feel the intellect body is trying to perfect the physical
Intelligence body.
Intellect body is in respect to a community.
Intelligence body wants the physical body
to be
like
perfect.
that.
Yes. Intelligence body is the one which says that, look, I have this perception of what is perfect. Why? Because I've seen something in earlier days, fat in certain communities, in certain tribes, right? Or even in India, खाते पीते परिवार का रहने वाला था before. If you slim like me, you'll say, अरे क्या खाया नहीं क्या, you're not. So the idea of what is perfect has changed, has evolved, right? So that is your intelligence body trying to look at your physical body and say, okay, the physical body should be like this. It is the intelligence body's idea of making the physical body perfect.
That's not wrong, right? Like, suppose I want my hamstrings or my glutes to be in a certain way, but that's not right. It's that you're trying to improve.
Try and
yourself.
understand that there is nothing right, there is nothing wrong here. Nobody is judging you. You have to understand, you have to bring yourself into awareness that this is what you're doing.
But if you, in
It is
comparison
not
to that,
about-
if you look down upon thin people or you look down upon other fat people, that's wrong.
It is just doing about me, myself.
If it is you yourself,
My
it is only
character.
intelligence body, correct?
Yeah.
If it is only intelligence body, then what is it trying to do? It is trying to make some self-improvement.
Yeah.
But you also know you are, in this way, you are revealing to yourself the naivety of this pursuit. However, you're still doing it with some sort of detachment. Do you understand? See, what is the intelligence body's idea of being whole or perfect? Exactly what I mentioned just now. Exactly what I mentioned. I need some upper chest, I need some lower abs, I need some, some
to be
this, some
perfect,
that.
to look perfect.
To become perfect. What is the intelligence body trying to do? It is trying to create an idea of perfection in your life. It could be with respect to your bank balance, your physical body, to your relationships, everything. Intelligence body is trying to create perfection everywhere. Correct? So now you understand that. You understand, you bring it into awareness. Earlier you didn't understand that. You were going about life saying, yeah, this is only my life. Correct? Now let's say that in this pursuit, what happens? You try and take shortcuts. Like, I've never taken steroids, but you'll feel that, if I should take steroids, can I do it? Okay, can I take some chemicals which will help me get there faster? Can I put in so much of effort? Like, say for example, I have some work to do, but I missed my gym time. So I'll think, okay, should I sacrifice my work and go and work out? Which is not good, right? I'm going to lose out in my career also. So my drive, my objective should not compromise my other factors in life. It's okay if I don't work out today, I'll work out tomorrow. But if it becomes an addiction, a possession, a kind of an obsession, right? If you're not aware, it will very soon slip into that. And when you're not getting that direction, what will you do? You will look at yourself into the mirror day in, day out. Why is this not coming? Get frustrated and try and do something more. Try and look at others and you'll feel, worthless in comparison. All that, you will be, before you know, you will be down that road. Forget physical. I'll give you another example of somebody pursuing wealth. For him, he will say, oh, hey, that fellow has made so much money. Somebody will come and say, hey, there's a lot of money in real estate. He'll say, is it? Fine, you will quit your job, you will get into real estate. Okay, you will get screwed over there. Somebody will come and say, hey, you should have invested in crypto. Like, damn it, you will withdraw money from here, you'll put it in crypto. What will happen? What are you thinking? You are forever dissatisfied, forever trying to make wealth as an obsession, and you are not getting joy, you're not getting happiness in your life at all. Why?
It's a very personal question for someone in their early 20s, body and health, wealth. Okay, now living in a materialistic world for me, as a person, body, or whatever you say is very difficult to follow. And body and wealth, creating a career is very important for a person like me who's in her early 20s. So what I'm trying to say, how do you detach yourself from not being like that?
Don't
Whenever I
detach,
see-
bring it into awareness. If you're aware, then you will know, it's my physical body trying to do this. It is my intelligence body trying to do this. My intelligence body is trying to pursue its career. My intelligence body is trying to make my physical body perfect. So you do it. It's not like you don't do it, but you do it with awareness. You do it without it trying to determine your emotions. You understand what I'm saying? Let's say that I don't have the perfect body. I'll give you an example. I'll say I don't have the perfect body. Remember, in life, people who don't have something are driven by it. People who have a lot of it also are driven by it. People who are greedy, who are having a lot of wealth, for whom wealth is a pursuit, the more wealth they have, the greedier they get. For people whom physical body is a pursuit, they would have injected steroids, they would have injected growth hormones, they would have taken a whole lot of things. But if you look at them, ask them in the mirror, they'll still say, yeah, I want a little more muscle. You ask for people in power, if he's not the chief minister, an MLA will say, I want to become the chief minister. Chief minister will say, I'll form alliance governments, I want to become the prime minister.
Like there's always
There is
room
no
for-
end to it. But then what are we trying to do here? We are trying to bring things into awareness. We are trying to say that yes, it is your intelligence body that is trying to drive you into perfection, to trying to make everything perfect. So then you take a step back and say that it is your character's desires, not my desire. I will act because I will bring, then what will happen? Everything will fall in balance. You will start balancing life. You will not be driven. That will not be your driving factor. You understand? It's okay if it doesn't happen today. It's fine. Puri zindagi padi hai. It's all right.
Doesn't that make you lazy?
It is not being lazy or complacent, but it is not putting you. I have extreme drive, but I know that I'm calibrating myself across. Okay, it's a part of improvement. I didn't get to work out today. That's fine. Earlier I would be agitated. Oh shit, I didn't work out. Oh shit, I didn't do this. I'll be like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. There were circumstances. I have a logical mind, right? I'm able to see. I did everything. I couldn't do it. It's okay. There were things that came in the picture. So many things that happened. Once you're married, you have a kid, you have a wife, you have responsibilities, you have household work. There are innumerable things on top of that. You're trying to manage your child's, food. He'll come and say, Papa, I'm hungry. What do? You have to make something for him. Papa, come and play with me. What do? You have to play with him. Papa, I can't understand this. Teach me. I'll have to teach him something. Then he'll say, Papa, I'll come and tell some stories that happened in this thing. It's okay. I'll be looking at my time. I wanted to go to the gym. Okay, fine. Come, tell me. But if you keep that as a driving factor, that I have to go to the gym no matter what, then instead of enjoying my time with my son, which is what the world has given me now, what will I do? I'll be half-hearted. I'll not enjoy this. Half my mind will be thinking there. Correct?
Yeah.
So go with the flow. Life
Don't
has to
get
have
obsessed with one thing.
life has to have a flow to it. There are many times there will be some deadlines of submissions and everything. You have to do it. It's okay. Then suddenly your day will free up. And that time I'll maybe swim in the morning, I'll go to the gym in the evening, I'll do all of that. I'll take my heart out, I'll do it. Life has to have a flow. Everything has to have everything is malleable, flexible. Everything when life throws, you remember that MS Dhoni movie? जब तुम बॉल बाउंसर आता है तो क्या करते हो? मैं झुकता हूँ. जब अनप्लेएबल होता है तो क्या करते हो? छोड़ देते हो. जब अच्छा बॉल आता है क्या करते हो? सिक्स मारते हो. Life is like that. You start flowing with everything life is throwing at you. You'll move, you'll react like Kung Fu Panda, right? You'll react, whatever is thrown with you, you'll roll with it, right? Then you will not say, if you're so stiff, adamant, obstinate, obsessive, then what will happen? You will be driving dissatisfaction not only in yourself but with everybody around you. You will be irritable, you will be non-joyous, you will forever be tensed, you will be irritated, right? You will be agitated, you will be trying to finish everything before a timeline. Otherwise, how will you be? These are two different states of existence itself.
Don't you think that regularity bring you discipline and positive vibrations?
Absolutely, there is no doubt about it. You have to do it. See, there are two different ways. I'm trying to tell you that there are two different ways of living. One is make a schedule. What happens? I'm trying to give you an example. You know, something happens in your life, you're not able to keep up that schedule. What will you do?
It's okay.
I will make new. I will go with new, and if I cannot cope with.
Correct. You will make your new plans and move ahead, right? Will you keep regretting?
No, I will.
That is exactly what I'm trying to say. You bend with it. Now, if your plans were that, now let's say you make your plans and say, 2 years from now I'll be there. 2 years from now I'll have a car, bigger car. 5 years from now I'll be earning 25 lakhs per annum. 10 years from now I'll have a flat. All that, you will make your plans, right? If it doesn't happen, what will you do?
I will try again.
Huh?
I will try again.
That is different. What will be your emotional state?
First thing, if I am deciding anything and I am not getting up to that, then this is my fault that I am not worked on that limit.
That's okay. What is your emotional state?
That's I will say that
Disappointment,
little bit.
regret.
Please go. भावनाओं में उतारो यार. You have to understand. This is a feeling. We are talking about an emotional state. The emotional state is that of shit. I didn't achieve it. Look at my friend. He achieved it.
I don't know that's
A lot of people do. You will automatically get it. It is not about you. You will automatically feel that way.
Can I give one example?
You were there for the
You know,
lesson?
Vaidnath Dham.
I've heard of it. Yes.
Vaidnath Dham.
I think
there was one.
I think every now and then you need to be aware of that.
Guy Chalan. So the Ravan which take the ceiling which he was taking to his mahal. He means for the accident the ceiling kept on the ground. Okay, and when some of the cows came grazing. And daily they are giving milk on this ceiling, okay? But when this koala came to know that his milk is getting low, then he go and see this ceiling that every cow is coming and
Giving shivling there. And yeah.
then he decided to beat this ceiling 4 lathi daily, okay? Then he daily go and daily beat this ceiling 4 lathi, okay? But at one day he was going to eat, and suddenly he remembered that he has not beaten this ceiling today. So he left the food and go there and just go and beat it. Then the Mahadev Prakat and gave this. I have been very happy with your regularity and your what you have decided to do. You are doing that. For that cause I am very happy with you. And this place will now name with your name. Vaidnath Dham. Means your name will come first because you come first. You come regularly. So you will come first. Don't you think that was a regularity means what we are saying that if that Gwala will leave that thing that I will do it tomorrow, will the Mahadev will get person?
So what are we trying to do here? You want to be
impress
regular. Exactly. You want
At
to.
any cost, I am saying that at any cost I want to maintain my discipline and I want to maintain my regularity.
See, it is very good. Do it. There is that is drive. Definitely you should do it. I'm not at all against it. But all I'm saying here is that you should know why you're doing it. Who is propelling you to do it? You understand? Bhishma was also the same. Okay, but what did he get in the end? The worst death. Why? Because the entire Mahabharata was because he used to take Bhishma Pratigyas
Yeah.
in the disinterest. So
And
for
never
your
break
one
them.
example, I have 10 other examples of people who have been obstinate about what they have vowed, and they have brought about downfall in this world and extreme disaster in this world. So Hitler was also the same. Correct? I will take my vow, I will do it no matter what. But end of the day, what did he do? So like that, there are a million other examples where it has brought about the downfall. But in your personal life, I'm not saying that, please understand the context in which this is all being said. That you have to understand who is doing it. That is why when you realize who is doing it, you're not bringing that karma onto yourself, onto your soul. You are saying that the character is doing it. The character is feeling that way. I am not feeling that way. So the more you re-emphasize the role of the character and the differentiation of your character and your soul, the more distance you put between your character and your soul, the lesser karmas that you take upon yourself, that your soul takes upon itself. That's how I began my story today. That's how I'm trying to end my story today. So, page 92. We will try and do it in the next story session, right? Jai Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram for this story session.